Hello again, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Being Aromantic While Not Being Asexual. And today's topic is on that very topic. I am not asexual. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. There's nothing wrong with being asexual. I understand that many aromantic people are also asexual, and that's totally fine. Or even if you're just asexual but not aromantic, all are welcome on my page in the comments to share your story. All of it. It's cool. But as an aromantic person who is not asexual, I find that my experience is very underrepresented. Like, asexuality or aromantic people in general are underrepresented. You know what I'm saying? And then aromantic people that are also not asexual are even more underrepresented. And it's like, anytime an aromantic person who's not asexual is looking for space to like really know who they are and trying to find like-minded individuals, it becomes very difficult because so many people, like if you like find anything about aromanticism, it's typically like a, you know, like a sub-paragraph to asexuality. Like there's like headlines for asexuality, and I feel like, don't get me wrong, I 100% understand that like asexuality in itself is also heavily underrepresented and misrepresented, and like there's tons of confusion what it is. But I in my experience from what I've seen, it seems like people are at least familiar enough with the term where like if you mention it in conversation, people are like, oh yeah, like I've heard of that. Like they have some sort of frame of reference. And most times, even like in my experience, again, from when I ask people if they know about asexuality, they're like, yes, I've heard of that. I think I know what it means, but remind me. You know what I mean? Like they're like, hey, fill my brain with some information about that thing you just said. Whereas when I'm like, oh, I'm aromantic, they're like, what is that? I have no idea. And then you try to give them that information, and instead of being like, oh, I've heard of that, let me add that to my information, they're like, I've never heard of that. You're clearly making it up. Stop lying to me, you dirty motherfucker. And I'm like, wait. That's not real. That's not what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a person that is real, that does not experience romantic attraction, and I'm not a dirty motherfucker. So please don't think that, you know? Anyway, so, you know, it can become really difficult always being tied to asexuality, or, you know, so frequently being tied to asexuality when I'm not asexual. And, you know, I've noticed, like, even in certain communities, like online, you know, there's like Facebook groups and stuff where people are looking for aromantic connections and to share their experience. And a lot of asexuals are in the group as well because they're also aromantic, are, you know, maybe like triggered or disinterested in hearing stories about sexual desire or whatever, or like memes or anything that like includes sexual intercourse or stuff like that, but aromantic. And because like that makes them uncomfortable, it kind of causes this divide, right? Where like aromantic will go into an aromantic group thinking we can discuss aromantic stuff, but like not worry about offending somebody that's also asexual. And so it can become, you know, you're constantly kind of walking on eggshells when the groups are together, to a certain degree, obviously. Like I don't want to like drive a wedge between these groups by any means. Like that, you know, I think we all need to come together and, you know, accept each other as we are with our differences. But I think, you know, the reason why I made this page in particular is because I think, you know, we do look for a space where we can be ourselves, like kind of unfiltered, you know what I mean? Like, and it's nothing just about not being like filtered or censored. It's really like, I'm trying to find other people that share my experience as closely as possible, you know, because it helps you fit in, it helps you feel validated. And so when you're trying to like say, hey, this is my experience, this is what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I've been through, when you find other people that are so closely related to or experiencing what you're experiencing, again, it's very validating. And when other people kind of their experience is like sort of similar but pretty starkly different, it, you know, it just doesn't quite have the same effect that you were looking for, the reason why you were seeking out that space to begin with, you know? So again, that's like really why I made this page, is because I know that I didn't see my experience represented very well, but I knew that it was valid, you know? And especially the more I talked to people, I found that other people were like me, but they just didn't really have a place to gather or discuss their experience without feeling like they were even different from their group. Like when you get into an aromantic group, you're like, oh, I finally found people that relate to me. But then they're also asexual, and you're like, oh, like I guess that's not quite my experience. And it can be confusing if you're still trying to figure out what you are, because like if you look through the comments, a lot of people, initially start off thinking like, oh, maybe I'm asexual, but they know that they still have a sex drive or have sexual attraction rather. And so they're like, oh, like maybe that's not me, and it can lead them down the wrong path of like self-identity, I guess. So I guess what I'm really just saying is like, I think that it is important for us all to like get along and respect one another and support each other for sure. But I think it's also cool that we have our own spaces to be able to discuss whatever aspect of our lives we want to share and hope to connect with others with, because that's really, I think, what a lot of us are doing right here on my YouTube right now. That's what you're here for, right? Is either to learn something about somebody else or more likely learn something about yourself. And hopefully these videos are helping you do that. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate every view, every comment. I wrote this in another video too. If you are leaving a comment and I have not responded, YouTube's been doing a weird thing where I'll see a notification for a comment, but it will not let me go. Like the comment will not appear on my YouTube. I have no way of reading the full comment. I can just see the preview of it, and I can't respond to it. So I promise you, I don't have that many followers. I go through and I comment back to every single person that leaves a comment. So if you have commented and I have not responded, give it like maybe a week. It can take me a little time sometimes, but give it like a week or so and then follow up. Just write another comment somewhere, and just if still no, just keep doing it like more frequently then, because I promise you I do respond to every single comment, and for some reason YouTube does not want me to comment back to you guys. So like, fuck them. Let's beat the system. So again, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Please subscribe. Check out my other videos. I got more coming on the way. Sorry, I have no schedule. I'm pretty disorganized, but I'm trying to keep it coming. So leave with love, guys. As a friend, have a good day.